For more on this, let's bring in ESPN college football analyst Desmond Howard. Desmond, you won the Heisman. You know what it's like to be a top college player. Many of these guys are now making the argument that it's safer for them to play and be at school than it is for them to be home. What do you think?
Well, Diane, I understand that these young men, they want to get on that gridiron. They've been practicing all their lives for this moment and for this pandemic to hit the way it has and pretty much put their season at risk. I understand the emotions that they're going through, but this is bigger than what they've prepared for at this point. I believe that if they're on campus, it's easier for the coaches and their staff to quarantine the players. I'm not sure if playing the games will be the right answer at this point. It's probably safer for them to be on campus, in dorms, or in their apartments where they have that watchful eye of the coaches and their staff, and they can monitor them. But I'm not sure if they should play games at this point, because you have to keep in mind, a week ago, let me rewind the tape a little bit. A week ago, a lot of these conferences, they released schedules. So we were very excited. We were like, okay, we're going to have college football. Great. But then they took a hard pivot to the left this weekend because they received some medical information from their medical experts that I believe, Diane, points to potential long-term effects that may have to deal with the respiratory system and cardiac issues. And I think that's the major concern right now, not just from these commissioners of the Power Five, but from the university's presidents, Diane.
They got to look out for these guys, obviously. We know basketball and hockey have restarted their seasons in a bubble. That seems to be working. Contrast that with Major League Baseball, no bubble, several cases on multiple teams. So can you have a season without a bubble, and can you have a bubble in college football?
The biggest issue, Diane, with college football, so let's put it in perspective. College football is a $1 billion industry, maybe $4 billion industry, right? So of the high revenue generating sports, college football is up there with professional sports. But the issue is student athletes and the safety of student athletes. You mentioned the professional leagues. They all are grown men who are getting millions of dollars, and they have a union to look out for their best interests. These college football players, they don't have a union. They tried to unionize in 2015. That got shot down. So they don't have anyone that's looking out for their best interests like the professional sports do. I do believe you can try to quarantine them, put them in a bubble, but don't forget, if you're at a campus where now they're going to have students on campus, and it's not going to be online, it's going to be students on campus, they're going to be mingling with those students at some point, and then you're at risk again. So that's an issue that the professional leagues don't have to contend with.
And you know, you're talking about the professional players being union versus the college players not being pros. This has been something that's been debated for a while, and now in the wake of not just this epidemic, but also the George Floyd protests and Black Lives Matter, we've seen players talking more about this. Several Pac-12 players recently wrote an op-ed denouncing the NCAA, saying that exploiting black athletes nationwide, that's what the association is doing. So do you think that this could change the landscape of college sports going forward, the fact that this conversation is again at the forefront, but with this new spotlight?
Diane, if there's any sort of silver lining that can come out of this this pandemic and how it has affected college sports, specifically collegiate football, it would be that they would unionize and that they would come together. Thank God that you have social media, because now you have these different groups, different athletes. They're able to link up and share their experiences. And now they realize that they have a very, very powerful voice. So I do believe that there will be some significant changes that will take place once we get back to what we will consider the new norm as far as college football is concerned, Diane.
So what's your prediction, Desmond? Do we have a season? And if not, what happens to these seniors?
Dan, no one wants to have a season more than I do. This is my livelihood. I love college football. It's tremendous for not only us, but for our country. It just seems like the presidents, they are very leery about the liability that they may face if these student athletes have some sort of ailments that they can trace back to the coronavirus from playing. So because of that, I don't think that we're going to have a season. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, though. I wish they can figure it out, and I do want us to have a season. But it's the health of the student athletes that's at risk right now, and that's the biggest issue.
All right. Well, I know it's a lot of decisions being made. We appreciate your input on that, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us this morning. Thanks, Desmond.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.